Hello, Monsters of Mountain, and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 3 and Part 10 of my Yuan Bo. It does a gruff Yuan Bo campaign where we've kind of hit that point in the campaign where caravans may be pointless because, well, Cathay's been overrun basically, so where all of our caravans start off is just riddled with enemies, so the likelihood of them getting ambushed, I say ambushed, I mean getting jumped, is pretty high. And so every caravan we lose is just gonna every other. I mean, you recruit a caravan, it gets like what, 7 to 8 units in it. If there's an army just stood outside where it's going to spawn the first time, it's dead. It's just gone. It's just a waste of money. So you get to a point where caravans are. I mean, even if Cathay hasn't been overrun, you can easily get to a point where you've got so many enemies that your caravans just get fucked as soon as they got that exit Cathay. So it's disappointing, and I think it is a limitation of the Cathay mechanic. I feel like maybe the caravan should have just not been on the map. Like, you know, give them events and stuff, but I think putting them on the map does mean that at a certain point they're just going to be useless. Unfortunately, it was even something I was a bit worried about when I first heard about the mechanic. The first thing I was like, well, I hope, because the AI is very aggressive when it wants to be. You know, when it can jump an enemy up, when it can see one of your armies within range and it can jump it with multiple stacks, it will. It's really horny for that. And unfortunately, caravans are just the perfect target for it to do that. And Zinch armies are never fun. Well, they're fun to play, they're just not so fun to fight. They're very tanky. I mean, it was... To start off with, you didn't really have many melee boys, did you? But then they gave them Chaos Warriors. Now they've just got like an insane strong front line. And also... more, you know, they got shields on top of that, and also ludicrous amounts of magic, and also they're probably one of the most flyer heavy armies in the game. It's just an absolute nightmare to fight them. Very strong faction. I don't think it's like, you know, cheesy or anything. I just think they're a very tough faction to fight, particularly for a caravan which, you know, has bitty units at the best of times. You know, if Yuan Bo was fighting this army, he'd be fine, he'd be no problem, he'd roll them. But the caravan here is going to get its ass kicked, unfortunately. To be honest, I probably should have just auto-resolved and allowed my caravan to die. But I decided to give them, give it a shot, give it a try, see what happens. As it is, all of this army is unbreakable, which means that the Zinch forces are going to have to literally wipe us out, which is actually going to be quite... well, it's going to be quite punishing for them. I mean, realistically, it does nothing. Right, they will... like, the village has no... I'm not going to go back to Cathay. I've got no armies within range to, you know, monopolise this. It's basically a case of... I just want to do as much damage as possible, just for the feels, really. So I'm going to try and take out his Chaos Giant, because fuck you, village. Basically, that's the reason. Even though I'm fairly sure that the AI Warriors of Chaos factions just pull units out of their arse in a special way. But at least he ain't going to have Chaos Giants, is he? Eh? It's going to be interesting to see what they do next, because technically they are at war with me, but I've got nothing near them. So, what do they do? I mean, are they going to, like, traipse across the entire world to get to me? Because they can't use the... they can't use the little portals, can they? Can't use the sea lanes. That's just not something they do. Oh, no, Tan, run away. You've only got 204 health points. Run. Okay, that's fine. We can probably kill the giant. Oh, he's brave. Stupidly brave. No, no, Tan. Careful. No, Tan! You died as you lived. pointlessly, basically. Good. I mean, the caravans aren't even bringing in that much money. It's like, you know, I take 7 turns to give me 4k. I mean, it's nice, I guess. I don't need it. It's not like a massive payday. It's not giving me hundreds of thousands of income, is it? Well, Tan is dead, but we have managed to kill off one of his giants. No, Tan, sorry, Village's giant. We managed to kill off one of Village giants. May even kill off the Doom Knights of Zinch there. They are going to have to kill the rest of our army, but to be honest, it's mostly just a grindy, systematic destruction. As you can see, we have managed to do quite a lot of damage to some of their units. Some of these marauders have been absolutely mauled. So this will be a Pyrrhic victory for Village at best. But I think the caravan's probably just not worth it anymore. Well, congratulations, you killed my caravan in exchange for half your army. Doesn't seem like a great trade-off, but this is the problem with the caravan mechanic. Later on in the game, in fact, what I might do is just don't tell me if there's a caravan disc. But I think at this point, we're basically at the point where there's no point trying to send out any other caravans. They'll just get destroyed, and I can't be bothered to worry about that. It's just, it doesn't... What the fuck? Oh yeah, of course, that makes sense. Hello.
Lord reported.
Right, I can't...
My ancestors require it.
Right. Okay.
Many feet, one purpose.
Okay.
Never flag, never falter.
Okay, we'll go and hit that next turn. Right, there's one there, which I'm not going to be able to reach in time. Oh, maybe? No. Maybe?
I will not hurry to divine plan.
Motherfucker. Okay, is that all? 3, 1, 2, 3. We're not gonna. Can I march on them? I can. Right. You know what? Really. What does this game have against crow people? Is it because they're feathered?
Appointed by the Celestial to head his armies. So fight hard, survive, and one day it may be you who is standing here.
So why is it lizard men that are so shitty about us doing a compass? What is it about? What is it about the compass that lizards don't like? Is it like a whole whatchamacallit? Geomantic web thing? Is that a because I've not seen anything which suggests that the lizardmen are particularly shitty about it. But apparently we're still... I thought we'd be fighting like Dark Elves or something. I thought, you know, it would be a different enemy depending on where we're building. But no, it's just more lizards. So I don't... I would say... I think... Because obviously... The Lord DLCs, up until now, have always had kind of a bit of a story behind them, right? The Torok and the... Because I guess the last Lord pack we really had was going to be the Torok and Sisters DLC, wasn't it? And there was kind of a little bit of a story there between them, what was going on there, and that kind of made sense. And I just feel like a lot of... These guys just seem to be lumped in, and they've kind of got these mechanics that feel like they should have some background to them, but they just don't. Why are the lizard men kicking off about this? Is there a reason for that? Would that explain why Yuan Bo is... Oh, fucking horned ones. Ah, fuck you. That would explain why Yuan Bo is here. Like, what's going on there? A lot of people are like, oh, well, of course, it's because the River Dragon failed. Oh, this is Sea Dragon. Fuck it. Whatever. Sea Dragon failed, so they've sent the... And I think that's just something that Lord Master of Sotek made up. I mean, lovely guy, don't get me wrong, but that's just based on, what, guessing? Because I've not seen anything about that. There's nothing in game to suggest that. And you know what? That's not a bad story, is it? That's not a bad idea, but you can't just... You can't just hope that's the reason. They actually need to explain... Oh, never mind. Right, eat it, nerds. Okay, I do have a garrison. Okay, that's good. Right, okay, we're going to head this direction because I don't... Unless you start recruiting stuff, and I don't think you can, he says, question mark. Hello. Right, murder you, get GTFO for a start. And then I'm going to kill you. I'm going to auto-resolve this because I've killed a lot of rats lately. It's my little treat to myself. And I might. Oh, I was going to say, I don't really want to be at war with them. I'm already at war with them. I might as well kill them then. Actually, no. Sorry, I changed my mind about that. Come on. There we go. Oh, Crow Boys, no. Every fucking time. Okay.
To a red mist. The better to water our fields and trouble our families no more.
Okay, well, we are fighting the vampire pirates, and of course they've got a fairly major downside, which is, of course, that all of their weapons require line of sights, and I can't see shit from up here. Which means we can easily just batter them with our delightful arcing missiles. I feel like maybe like missile, like if you're arcing like that, missile attack should be a lot less accurate. Shouldn't they? I don't know, but I mean, look. Look, these poor... I feel bad for them. They're just getting rinsed. They're just getting absolutely rinsed, and there's nothing they can do about it. The only thing they could do is come down the ramp directly into my crossbow fire and die horribly to it. Not really an option. So they do have a barricade, a blocker here, which gives missile resistance and an aura, which would help if they were standing anywhere near it. I do think the barricade, like the barricades giving an aura is an interesting idea, but they're so... The auras are so small that it may, like, unless you're literally stood right next to it, it's basically pointless. It's the same with the trap and the monument. It's nice. It's a nice idea, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really help you all that much. Mostly because, you know, most of the time the enemy will just not fight there. So we've managed to attack the mortars, take them out from doing too much damage. How much? Oh, they actually got 46. They actually did quite a lot of damage to me. 46 kills. Fair play. Fair play. Who did they? Oh, they were taking out the missile. Okay, well, that's fine. Never mind. And they are more deckhand mob. They're trying to heal themselves up, but too little, too late, I think. Flying units going hunting down anything they can spot, while Yuan Bo finishes off the mortar. Just hunting down. There's like a whole bunch. I kept thinking that these guys, but they're just griffins flying around. But they're just scenery. They're not actually doing anything. But I kept thinking that there was like flying units around here. I mean, it looks, you know, I just don't know why you'd have a whole bunch. It's worse than seagulls, that, isn't it? I mean, one, because seagulls are, you know, quite nasty and will steal your pasty. A griffin, though. I think if a griffin came down and tried to take my pasty, he could fucking have the pasty. Just have it. Fine. I'd run for cover at that point. Definitely worse than a seagull. We do have some of the... What are they called? The depth guard. That's it. Some depth guard there. They are being thrown all over the place. Yuan Bo does tend to do these, like, quite weird attacks. I like it. I guess the problem with the monsters in Total Warhammer is that you never know quite what their attacks are going to do. Like, sometimes... Because they've said the different attacks have different, like, splash effect. So when he uses his tail, that's quite a long splash effect, whereas if like hits the ground, it might be like a round splash effect, that kind of thing. And that's actually like quite an integral part of how that character attacks. But you have absolutely, one, no control over it, and two, no idea what he's going to do until he directly does it. So it's just a bit weird. Anyway, we've moved our missile units over to this side so we can mop up. I mean, again, these poor gunnery mobs just standing there, just dying horribly. It's basically no contest. Oh, we've got these fell bats, and I think because of where we are, it's kind of like a weird position for us, and I don't think we're doing very well here, mostly because most of our guys seem to be at the bottom. I'm not entirely sure what's going on over there, but I mean, it's fine. The crowmen are taking quite a lot of damage, but they will survive, which is the important thing. Although I should probably just replace them with Great Longmire Riders, so I don't have to fight every single fucking bat. Is that a floating tree? Literally unplayable. Honestly, I really hate that there's some scenery affects the camera. I'm just like, just let me clip through it. For fuck's sake. Like, I mean, yeah, scenery like this, I can totally, like the actual like ground bit, I can totally understand. Why make this? Why make the camera bounce off the pillar? It makes no sense to me. I can clip through trees. That does. I mean, if clipping through things is your problem, why don't you give the trees camera collision? Just make. Anyway, you know what? Just leave it, because the game's fucking buggy enough as it is. Don't try anything too complicated. Probably melt the fucking engine. Okay, we've got some animated hulks. Of course, they are absolute trash, but they could. I mean, if they get into our missile units, they may kill one or two potentially. So we've managed to get the Celestial Dragon Guard, the Dune Dragons. There, we need to get some more Celestial Dragon Guards. So they are, I mean, they do have bonus first large as well, 20 bonus first large, which actually is quite nasty. They're not, I mean, they're pretty heavily armed. They're definitely the elites of the Cathay infantry. Cathay's kind of weird. Like, none of their units are, I mean, these guys are like tier 3. And these guys are fine. I wouldn't say they're like the amazing compared to some other races, but I think they really have nailed Cathay as this sort of like, you know, working as a team, working as a cohesive force. Like everyone needs to, because as soon as they are next to another unit, they do get that massive bonus to their melee defense and melee attack, and that does actually make them quite dangerous, whereas on their own they are significantly less. And they're also really hard to break through due to their formation. But as you can see, the animated hulks there, even though they are being healed up, are being taken down very quickly. They just don't have any armor or melee defense, to be honest, so they are getting absolutely wrecked. Good times, and with any luck, what's left of the enemy garrison will start crumbling away. Eventually, anyway. Admittedly, you know, my Crowman did take quite a lot of damage, but it's very hard to actually get a unit killed unless it's unbreakable. Water Resolve does like to kill off units, doesn't it? I mean, I'm glad they now show you who is likely to die, because that is a nice change, and I'm glad that it's there. But at the same time, it just shows you like how I feel like the Ultra Resolve in Warhammer 3, it's like, I think when Warhammer 3 came out, the Ultra Resolve was incredibly brutal. Like, it was genuinely just nasty. But it is definitely better. It has, you know, there are improvements. With that said, I do think that, you know, there could be I get it, but it honestly, using auto resolve sometimes just feels like a nice little reward for, you know, fighting. I think I said this last time, but fighting about you just kind of like give yourself the losses that you could replenish, and it's almost never worth it. And that's kind of the problem. Like it's genuinely almost never worth actually fighting a battle, auto resolving even. And there's just some battles where you're just like, but I don't want to. Like, it's just, it's, you know, I've fought this battle 5 times already. If it's like a siege or something, if you're like rolling over an enemy army and it's a siege and you've like done the same siege 4 or 5 times, you're like, I don't want to do this again. It's just, at this point, it's just busy work. And I wish at some point there was maybe like, you've used this army against a similar army. This was what you did last time. Do you just want to do the same thing? I'll be like, yes, for the love of God. There's definitely some battles that I definitely want to fight. But I think Total War should be capable of lining up battles that you actually want to fight, not ones that feel like a chore. Hello. Yeah, I don't actually care about that. Well, I've got my compass. I've got my compass city. That's all I really care about. So we just need to like sort this out. Wow. I believe we may have lost quite a lot. Yeah, I think Zhao Ming is obviously getting rolled here.
I understand. There are important matters.
Do I confederate Zhao Ming? Someone told me off for not confederating Miao. I guess I should, shouldn't I? Absolute worst. I mean, you know, he's going to die. We know that. We know that, and that's fine. But what we can do is we can get Zhao Ming, can we? Assuming he's not dead. We could get Zhao Ming. We could get him in an army, get him doing some stuff. That'd be quite nice, wouldn't it, eh?
Instrument of the divine.
Okay, well, first things first. Well, first things first. Let's... Where... hang on. Where is Zhao Ming? There he is. He's wounded for 2 turns. Okay, good to know. But then we can get him an army, you see? Okay, we'll bop you. Because that way I won't have to fight a battle again. What's this one? It is, oh, more armor. I'm going to put more armor on you, I think. I think that's what we're going to do.
The dragon blooded.
And then we're going to come down here. And can... Ooh, wow. Really? Against that? God, auto resolve. You've been particularly nasty today for some reason. I don't really understand why the auto resolve's being quite so mean. Like, this entire episode, it's just been an absolute dick. So many of these battles, I'm thinking I should just be able to auto resolve this, and it just... No. Okay, so some of the enemy units are fleeing off the battlefield for some reason. I mean, that's just going to make the rest of them easier to kill. So, thanks, I guess. Anyway, the Crow Boys actually pretty good against the Ripidactyls. I'm assuming it's because they can swarm them and hit them from all sides, whereas obviously the Ripidactyls only have a few entities. Meanwhile, the Cannon Boys are spraying the Cold One Riders, and just to protect our flank there, going to summon in some of these ancestral warriors to keep the Saurus at bay. So far, so good. Okay, the monster... What is he? He's a... Croxagore Ancient? Is that it? Is that what he... A Croxagore Ancient, yeah. He's kind of barreling through our forces. I do like these guys. So, good to see. Good, you know, I like the Croxagore. I think they're the best boys, so... I'm glad I got the Nakai campaign in early before they broke him. I think they have fixed him now, though. Allegedly. Allegedly, he's fixed. So, good. I mean, 3 months? Yeah, probably should be fixed. All right, the crows coming in from behind to hit those Cyrus warriors, and of course that's that's a lot of damage very, very quickly. Skinks being routed almost immediately, being cut down while they attempt to flee. It looks like the entire enemy army is on the run. Right, well, I don't think that was quite the slam dunk. Obviously, the lizards thought that would be. Never mind. We do have one more potential threat here and 4 more turns, and we'll get the Nongchang Basin. So, more growth in Cathay-owned provinces, construction cost reduction, and construction reduction time. That's not bad. It's definitely a lot better than the first one, which was, let's be honest, complete. I mean, I'm not sure exterminating the lizard men was necessarily worth that effort, realistically, but, you know, that's me. I guess they wanted another point on their compass, and they have acquired it, which I guess is good-ish. Is it? Sure. Cash replenishment for peasants. You know, I'm not... I mean, I do like the Iron Hail Gunners. Okay, let's do something like that. I say there's like lots of different skills, but they're also like kind of all over the place. It's just a bit... I find the Cathay tech tree just a bit overwhelming. I mean, it's not the Nurgle tech tree though, is it? So I guess I can't really complain.
I would take that.
Well, indeed.
It is mine by blood right.
Indeed. I mean, you wouldn't ask for the Nurgle tech tree, would you? You just wouldn't want to do it to yourself. Lovely medicinal. Oh wait, no, we need the Chamber of Visions. Chamber of Visions, which comes with the medicinal herbs. Look, I'm not saying that the Chamber of Visions is just basically a hotbox, but I feel like a lot of the Lizard Man special buildings are basically them just fucking and doing drugs. Can't argue with that, I guess. At least they're consistent. Right, we're going to lose basically all of these settlements, and I don't really care. Yeah, unemployed alchemists of Shangyang. Basically, you're all fired because I have no... Look, it's new management, and as such, you're all fired. Get the fuck out.
You seek out the Von Castein.
Would you like that? Wow, you give me a military alliance for that. Jesus. No, I'm all right. Just give me some money.
I like it.
Good. Do you want a new port as well? You just give me one. Tell you what. Give me a military alliance for it and a trade agreement. Just give me all that stuff. And one.
I will enjoy this.
And that was incorrect. I didn't want to do that. No. What about where are Claneshon?
Yes. What?
Do you want Baleful Hills? No? Okay, no, that's fine. What about... Oh, how else could I guess I could just give it to... I could just give that to you, couldn't I?
Come. What can we help you with this night?
One?
I will. Are you a god?
No. At least I'm fairly... That's a weird voice. Anyway, right. So we're now friends with... Now, let's have a look. Outposts. Where do I want to put... I don't know if I want any undead guys. I'm going to put one in there. Good. Okay, so we can have a bunch of dead guys in our armies, because that seems fun. Seems pretty legit, doesn't it? Yeah, exactly. Okay, if Skrulk heads north, we'll bop him. And once we've managed to, you know, mop up these lizard boys, which, to be honest, shouldn't take too long, we can send these guys down south to go and help. We can link up with...
On behalf of my
Yuan Bo.
and lunar parents,
Hello.
you are welcome.
What do you want? Declare war on that guy. Can I be honest? I kind of got other things on Tyrion. Sorry, mate. Hello?
Serve from the front.
Right. That's
Servant of the dragons.
it's not particularly concerning, army. Are you going to... Now, where are you going to go for the Chamber of Visions, or...
Move upon my order.
I'm going to sort of head in that
It suits
direction.
my purposes.
I don't think the Great Turtle Isle is under any threats at all whatsoever.
Master of the meteor winds.
Okay, let's get defenses there. Let's go and find out what this big old... nope. There we go. Loot the carcass. Please don't kill my crows.
Royal execution.
Yeah, you killed my crows. You motherfucker. What do we get? We got more money. Okay.
Straighten up.
Okay, so now I've managed to... A couple of people are like, oh, you're only using the commercial districts in Fortress City. I'm like, well, yes, because that gives me, like, more... Surely getting the more things first is the best option. And, I mean, then we can... Because what I want is command the lesser courts. That's what I want. So what we need to do is we need to spend 2 of these. And to be honest, it doesn't... I don't really give a flying shit which 2 we spend. It's not really that vital. So I can, like, rush construction. And I can be like, sure. Alright, doesn't matter. The important thing is now we've got 4 stone and 4 steel. And that means once they are all ready to go, we can get the command of the lesser courts, which gives us a powerful permanent bonus. And that's kind of what I want, because that is... That just seems like... It just seems sensible to me. You might disagree. That's fine. Disagree all you like. You're just wrong. Do I want that? Not really. Mind you, someone did point out, how long will Net of Amantok last with 195% spell intensive? We're so intense. We're smouldering. That's what we are. Smouldering magical sexuality. Yeah. Do I want to upgrade that? Ah, fuck it. Go on. Seems legit. I probably want medicinal herbs, so actually I probably want to knock that down, don't I? Thinking about this, because I've got that bit. I've got the Chamber of Visions, which is good, and then I want the medicinal herbs so that I can be a drug dealer, apparently. I am going... Sure, that one. Clan Malta's dead. Interesting. Oh, Daughters of the Forest are dead. Yes, sir. Put them out of their misery. Right. Fucking... What the fuck? Okay, well, this is the last army, and once we've mopped this up, we have basically secured the second of our 4 compass points. How exciting. Of course, we are going to have to, like, you know, carve our way through the rest of Cathay. Although, I think once we've locked this down, we'll have a couple of... Well, no, we'll have almost 3 armies, won't we? Which, once they can sort of, like, link up with Yuan Bo, I can probably send one to go and link up with Yuan Bo, and then send a couple to the south. I think we'll probably do something like that. And then, of course, once we've done our little passion project of sorting out the compass, I guess Yuan Bo is going to have to go back to Cathay and kind of, like, liberate it from the forces of evil. I mean, we're not going to do that, because it just seems like a lot of busy work. So this army's not even that particularly, because, I mean... They don't... Got about half of what we have, to be honest. The Crowmen chasing down the the Pterodon Riders. They're getting shot to pieces by the RADEON Hunting Pack. But again, the RADEON Hunting Pack, not great in melee combat. So once the Saras are sort of like throwing themselves against our front line, we can send our boys to... Ooh, little comet there. Very nice. Send the Crowmen to go and finish them off. I left my Iron Hail Gunners in the front line and I forgot about them until I suddenly realised that why am my Iron Hail Gunners taking damage? Oh yes, that's right. I left them in the front line to get mauled by Saras. That wasn't necessarily great. As it was, they didn't actually do too badly considering. I also think I put them on a slight decline there, so they couldn't actually see the Saras until they came directly over the top of the hill, which obviously was not necessarily great for them, because by the point they could open fire, the Saras were literally, you know, ready to rip their throats out. Finally realised the Iron Hail Gunners there. But again, the Iron Hail Gunners actually survived really well, considering they were being mauled by, you know, big muscle-bound lizard boys. They actually survived very, very well. And the Jade Warriors just tanking them. I genuinely don't think the Saras Warriors can actually break through the Jade Warriors. I think the Jade Warriors are probably too tough for them, which is saying something. Meanwhile, of course, we've got Ren there just wailing on the enemy general and a whole bunch of extra Saras, although we are being helped out by our crossbows, who are whittling down the enemy units, and the RADEON Hunting Pack being brought down by the Crowboy. The Crowboy, again, just doing, you know, very good work. I genuinely like them. They are a very fast-moving, lots of entities in the unit as well, which helps. They can just swoop down, murder quite. I mean, they've got good weapon strength and a reasonable charge bonus. They really can just get the damage in there. Again, very frail, but if you get that rear charge, they can do a lot of damage. I like units like the Furies and the Harpies and stuff because they can, you know, you swoop them in and they do a surprising amount of damage. Just noticed the general's called Is That Zo? Interesting. So I've come out of that fight completely fine. I don't know whether Ortrazov is being specifically quite nasty, or whether it's like it just wants you to fight these guys, or what. But either way, that was that was a thing, wasn't it? Well, there we go. So we were gonna have. I would say, like, unlocking the compass points is an interesting mechanic if it felt worthwhile, because I'll be honest, it doesn't feel worthwhile to... Oh, that's quite nice. That's pretty legit. Okay, you, I'm really sorry, mate, but you're fired, because we got... There he is, hiding in the middle. I saved your life, you piece of shits. Okay, where's that neato little... that one there? You've got burning van braces. I mean, that's probably... I'm going to level with you, that's probably better. Yeah, I know who you are. Okay, I'm going to put that on you. Because that... Oh, wait, that's a thingy-majig.
The battle is won.
Ah, well, I've given it to that guy now. It's fine. Let's... Oh, no, Forbidden Rod's actually pretty legit. Okay, I'm going to keep the Forbidden Rod. I might have to do some merging of bits and pieces here. Some of this stuff is useful. Some of it's not. You don't have a hand weapon. I have a Vorpal Shard. It's not very good, but there we go. Right, what skills do you have? So you got Master of Metal. That's fine. You've got Warding Iron. That's okay. That's fine. You've got Unyielding and Sure Aim. Fine. Root Marcher. Fine. Desert Weapons. Fine. I personally wouldn't have selected the Flaming one. I would have gone for the Piercing. However, you know, it's I'm not going to complain too much about it. It's fine. Overall, I think his skills are actually pretty good. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy. What is your like thing? What is your magic item drop chance? 100% upkeep reduction for melee units. Okay, well in that case, we probably want some like really nice melee units, don't we? We don't have access to any. I guess you could have some of these guys. They're pretty good. All right. They'll do. They'll do. Do we want to maybe go and, like, rough up? I guess we want to try and make sure this is safe. I don't want to getting overwhelmed, right? So, the faster this grows... Is there any growth? I don't think there is there? No. Well, in 2 turns, we can actually change the compass to... So, in 5 turns, we can change the compass to that one, which is going to give us more growth across the board, along to everyone that owns a Cathay-owned... Okay, well, never mind. It's fine. Lustria is the new Cathay. I've heard... Yep, good. Well, never mind. That'll have to wait until next time. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.